Say sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, the moment you experience is very expensive. And the moment you have is very rare. You always have to reflect on it, and you always have to remember and appreciate it. The one thing is, the life is always depending on many conditions, and any time that anything can change. And at the same time, the life you experience already developed through the time and developed through the mind. So then you are in a good place to see yourself and get the best out of your life. But at the same time, you have to remember, so whatever the ideas you hold in your mind, with that idea, when you look something, then you may find kind of like a photocopy of your mind, blueprint of your mind. But when it comes to liberation, the 100% releasing your mind is very necessary. So then when you practice meditation, you have to remember, don't sit for meditation with the preconditioned mind. Don't look for something. And at the same time, you have to have the intention to release all the mental formations that always projecting inside your mind. It is not easy. Why? Because we always have something in our mind and we imagine, we think, we always dreaming, we always watching something inside our mind. So from today, whenever you have opportunity, do this little exercise. So try to have a moment without having any kind of mental image. And then you will see, in this conditional world, in this conventional life, our life itself means depending from image. But when it comes to the Vipassana meditation, it's completely releasing that mental image. You can do it. You can do it, but you have to do it step by step. Why? Because that mental image we carry inside, this imagination, these pictures, this artwork, this drama happening inside us, it has a long history. Because of that, suddenly you cannot get out of it. So then step by step, maybe just 1 minute, try to find a place to keep your mind without any mental image. And maybe that also become a kind of like a mental image. But it will help you to little by little, to get into advanced level. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, that is one thing happening. We call it we developing undisturbed mind. So that undisturbed mind means your mind not going to project anything or not going to create kind of like any mental image. So to get into that, how you can get out of this mental image? There is no way that dreaming about or thinking about it, you can make it happen. There's no way. Only thing is, once you're able to come to the present moment of recognition, in that very moment, your mind get out of the mental image. So that's why, in the meantime, we trying to get into the same bodily sensation or the inhalation, exhalation, and we get the help out of it. So once you're able to see the present moment of experience, when you see in that very moment, your mind releasing the imagination. Otherwise, there's always something. So once you settle down with the present moment, and then little by little, when your mind become more experienced and sharper and clear, stronger, and that is where you can go to the next step, which we come to the vipassana level of understanding that we call analytical meditation. That means the what you experience, rather than settling down with it, rather than go with it, you start to observe and you start to analyze within that own experience. So that is where you can come to the moment of emptiness. So in the very first level, you have to get out of the mental image, and then you have to settle down with the present moment. And once you settle down with the present moment, with the undisturbed mind, you have to develop the clarity. And once you come to the development of the clarity, then you can see how this moment happening itself. When you are able to experience that, that is where you can completely understand what is this selflessness. But mostly we have concrete ideas in our mind. Even that, we have idea to kind of like find the liberation for myself. You cannot find liberation for yourself. Why? Because the liberation itself happens when you drop the self. So if you have intention or the idea, or solid thoughts regarding myself, I want to get into this, then the result become more different. You may experience something, but you have to remember it's also become a part of the mind. So that's why little by little we have to come to the meditation. Another thing is, as we all know, why we practice meditation? And the bottom line is, we don't trust this our own mind. And you are not comfortable, confident within your own mind. Not only you, everyone, whoever, look for the wisdom or the liberation, enlightenment. That means they know already. You know already with this mind, you cannot go this journey. Why? Because you already, in your subconscious mind, you already experience. This is not the life you want. So then going with this conventional mind is not going to make us liberate. So then when you come to meditation, have intention not to go with the ordinary mind. Why? Because you already know with this ordinary mind, we cannot get out of this. So then the no mind mean, it is not about that come to a kind of like a blank moment. No, the present moment. When you recognize the present moment of experience, then in that very moment, your imagination get out of your mind. That is why your mind come to the moment, can exist itself with the perception. And that very moment will help you to get out of this conventional experience. Once you get out of the conventional experience, that is where you can observe deeply what is happening inside you. That is why it's called the inside meditation. It is not just the surface level of what you say. Deeply, the mechanism that whatever you experience is totally different than these outside objects. So once you're able to see that inner experience, that itself will liberate you. So that is the brief introduction to the journey. That's how this can happen. And we are not in this conventional life. Whatever you experience or whatever your mind is not free. It bound from things. Look at ourselves. We cannot escape from anything. We cannot get out of any situations. We are prisoners to this world, these conditions. And even though we have idea of free will, but when it comes to very basic life, we are the free will. And even just our own body that we carry, where we have no choice with that. And then sometimes we think, forget about the body, then about the relationships. Look at yourself. Do you think that you can have a relationship the way you want? How do you have any idea how that the people that came around you, and how you found friends or your husband, wife, children, and how you know that who going to come to your life tomorrow? Do you think that you can select anything like that way, even with the people? No. We don't know who going to come to our life tomorrow. What kind of situations will happen to us? So that is where we are. We have to understand it. So then only thing is, you have a choice with the moment of experience. So if you are able to settle down with that, that is the most powerful free will that you have. So then you have to empower it. Why you have to empower it? Because remember, in the beginning I mentioned this is very expensive. Why it is expensive? In the ancient time, when we look at the history, that even the Prince Siddhartha, he had a very luxurious life and he was a prince, and then he left the palace. And sometimes people can do it very easy, but more than that, he took a very dangerous risk. Just imagine nowadays, do you think just kind of like a president or even the president or the family members, anyone can go to market themselves without any bodyguard, without any security? Can they go anywhere? No. So then just imagine the Prince Siddhartha. He used to live in the palace and then he left everything and he just became a ordinary person in this society. And what a risk that he took. And not only that, he went to the jungle. So then in the jungle, that when you get to go to the meditation, even in the forest, the going to the forest and sitting there for 1 minute, even just having idea to go into the forest, is a kind of like a giving a liberation to inside you. Just imagine yourself. Can you walk to the forest tomorrow and sit there and practice meditation, or even forget about meditation, just to watch animals? Can you get into the forest? No, there is a great danger. That is one thing. Through this, all the science, technology, the machines, through this, all the development, one of the things that giving to us is security. In the ancient time, your ancestors, your forefathers, they didn't have that. But you have that all. Look at yourself, even when at home, when you sit for meditation. What a great security that you have. But there are a lot of people, they don't have it. And even in the outside, when they close their eyes and just focusing to the mind, just imagine, forgetting about everything and just focusing to the breathing. You have to let go this everything. In the outside, maybe it is very difficult for you. Why? Because we have experience. We know that when in the beginning, when we go to the forest, sometimes when we close our eyes, even something, any little sound, the fear arises. And we look here and there, what is that? Who is coming? Maybe wild animal can attack. But giving that everything away and putting that everything behind you and just focusing to the breathing, itself giving you kind of like a liberation. So then at home yourself, look how lucky you are. So that's why I mentioned it is very expensive. Remember that. Your old ancestors didn't have this opportunity. But today, if you want, you can lock the door, and even you can put a sign, don't disturb, and then, yourself, you can find a place and light a candle or, incense and keep, and you can close your eyes. You don't need to worry about security and all these police officers and everyone. Even, far away from satellites giving you security. So then yourself, you have to remember what you get out of it. With that, all the security, you can enjoy life with these sensual pleasures. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you have to remember, how about the next moment? What will happen in that next moment? If you lose this all, what will happen to you? Do you know anything about it? So that's why that always you have to reflect on the opportunity that you have. And then not 24/7, but whenever you have opportunity, and little by little try to get out of this mental imagination, the drama happening inside your head. Get out of it. Not about the outside, the drama happening inside your head. So for that, there are certain ways that you go step by step, step by step. Remember your life always happening. It's like a boiling water, with the fire. The bottom of the pot, it's always fire, and this boiling, the heat coming, and it's keep boiling, boiling, boiling. Your life also like that, always creating, 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 creating. But in the epicenter of this creation is the mind. So there are 4 steps this happening. In the Pali word called this, there's a Pali word called upadi. Upadi is one place is the giving birth. How you empower your existence, how you empower your desire, how you empower your universe. Not the universe that whatever happening outside, the universe related to your mind. How you create your own world and how you create your own mind. It's you always doing it 24/7. It's happening to you. Then you have to understand, you have to remember that whatever in your mind today, you may going to experience it tomorrow. Or maybe you create it for your next life. So there was a story that one time our Buddha was a bodhisattva and he was ascetic and traveling place to place, then came to a city. So in that city, there was a king and he saw this ascetic came to his city and he went and worshiped him and told, oh, you can stay in my garden. And the bodhisattva accepted the invitation and used to stay in the king's garden for a few days. And meanwhile, there was a prince born to that king. But this child was kind of that not normal. It's kind of like a hyper and always overreact. And always so much in anger. And the prince, the king had a great fear in his mind because by the time in the future he going to be the king. With this unnatural behavior, not only his life, the entire kingdom, all the people in that kingdom going to have a hard time. So the king had this idea and bothering to him. So then he tried many things to teach this child to bring him to a normal life, but it didn't happen. So then he thought, so this is a good opportunity. Now I can go to this ascetic and then this is spiritual person and then ask some advice. So king went to the bodhisattva and asked, I have this question. My son is having some kind of unnatural behavior with the anger, hatred, and overreacting to anything. So is there any way that you can help for this child? So then this ascetic told, bodhisattva told, bring him to me and leave him with me. So the king thought it's going to help for the child and king left him. So a few days, he used to be with this bodhisattva and go here and there and having a very friendly conversation. So somehow both of them became friendly. And then one day, there was a little plant. And that tree leaves so bitter. So the bodhisattva, this ascetic, went to that little plant with this young boy and told him to bite that one tree leaf. So this little boy went and picked one tree leaves and then bite it. And then it was so bitter. And then he threw it. And he showed that he irritated and showed it how bitter it is. And then this little boy was wondered. And himself he told, oh, look at this little plant, how bitter it is. I never thought this little plant that much bitter. This even little tree leaves. So then that ascetic, the bodhisattva asked this little child, just imagine, this little tree have only few tree leaves and it is so bitter. So then there is a possibility that tomorrow, when this tree become a bigger, stronger, large tree, how many tree leaves and even this little plant is so bitter, and how about when it become a stronger, huge tree? That bitterness also going to become so strong. Oh, then the boy understood that, of course. So then the Bodhisattva told, our mind also the same. Look at as a young boy. So whatever the mental quality that you hold in you, whatever the way that you react, when you grow with that same quality, when you become elder, what will happen to your all these reactions, the bodily actions, verbal action, mental actions? And that also going to become bigger, stronger, harder than today. The young boy understood that. And he completely became a different person. So then yourself, you have to remember whatever in your mind today, whatever the nature that you carry in your mind, with that same condition, you cannot come to a different level. So then that whatever the idea that you have in your mind regarding the profitable development to yourself, then you have to slowly start with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions to perform that way. Even you have to be very careful with the children and you have to teach the children. And sometimes maybe it is your child, you seeing a little mistake, misbehavior. You allow them to be there like that way, thinking, oh, when they become young, it's going to be okay. When they become old, it's going to become okay. And sometimes even I heard some people, parents cannot correct their children, and then the parents say, oh, once they get married, the husband maybe will fix this, or the wife will fix this. No, it's not going to happen like that way. So don't allow someone to, unknown, unseen someone to fix any life situations or the problems. Just do it yourself. And especially with the children. And remember, if you see something, don't allow them to grow with that. Even yourself, when you see something within yourself, so don't allow it to grow it with you. Don't allow it to die with you. Why? Because whatever the condition in your mind, When you die with that condition, you're going to come back with that condition. There is no way after you die, you think, oh, I'm going to have something new. There are some people, they think like that way. They think even once you die, this everything going to go away. No, look at your own life. Just a simple example. You sleep with any situation thinking tomorrow when you wake up, it's a new day. You're going to be completely brand new. No, you're going to wake up with the problems that the whatever was in your mind. So then the same thing in the life. But you can do it. You can fix this all. So there are 4 things that you have to be aware. One is called Kama Upadi. Kama Upadi means our mind, the entire this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, always boiling with the desire, sensual pleasures. It's always happening, 24/7. It's always happening. You are kind of like a wild hunting dog. It's always with the legs, with the arms, with the tail, with the teeth, always look to bite something, like a bulldog. Our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, always look for something. So, and you allow it to happen that way. And then what happening? The desires itself boiling, 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 and keep running, looking for that. It's Kama Upadi. So then give a rest to your eye. Give some rest to your ear. Even sometimes, some people, when they want to practice meditation with music. And sometimes people say, Bhante, put some music. They want to listen to music. Even you driving, you want to listen to music. Even you sleep, you want to listen to music. And the smell, you're always depending from the smell. And always eating something. Sensation, always touching something. And the mind always thinking something. Give a rest. Find a gap. Create a gap. Come to a point completely you giving a rest. One minute enough. Consciously do it again and again, again and again. If you don't do it consciously, what will happen? Naturally, it always happens. Like the ocean having the waves, always this happening. This is itself called the existence. Not only that, the second one called Bandhu Upadi. Kama Upadi, desires with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Look for perception. And the Bandhu Upadi means with the physical world. So first one is related to the material world. So the Bandhu Upadi means the physical world. Always you are in a moment to create relationships. Just imagine, just look yourself, even while you're sitting here now, invisibly there are relationships happening behind you. And as a young person, maybe you're looking for a partner, or maybe partner looking for you, or husband, wife, or maybe there is a child happening in you, or maybe the child looking for parents, or maybe your son or daughter having relationship and having affair, and then you become their father-in-law, mother-in-law. You cannot stop that. See this, it's like the waves in the ocean, it's always happening. Even the Facebook, always somebody sending that friend request, or maybe you adding some friends. So maybe there is a follower keep coming behind you. And even the YouTube or the Instagram or TikTok followers. Or you don't know tomorrow who going to follow you. And maybe you always click the bell button and then remember to subscribe. You hear this always. This means what? This is what called bandhu upadi. You are always in a current to create relationships. Stop it. Not 20%. Just consciously take a moment and get out of this all. Why? Because this is naturally happening. This is naturally happening. There is no way that you can get out of it. You are not alone. There is no way. You are part of this all. So then why, if it is natural, and why you are again empowered, and why you increase the current in your mind? Because it's naturally happening. So then in your mind, remember, let in the world it happen. It is necessary because it is a conventional world. It's conditioned. Let it happen. It is very necessary. But in your mind, don't do it. In your mind, don't look for somebody. In your mind, don't allow anyone to get into that. In your mind, don't make any relationships. Keep it to the conditional world. And the klesha upadi, formations, volitions, that all come out of the comparison with our past and the future. It come out of the thinking. So what we, in other way, it called the experience. Out of your experience so far in your life, what you build up for tomorrow. It's not a new thing. It is another form of what you already have. So that also always happening. So just imagine, just one example, cell phones, smartphones. And Apple, how many versions now already? 12 or maybe 12 plus or like that. 11, 12. So this all came one by one. So the first one empowered the second, and second advanced to the third advanced to the fourth. And when it comes to today, and if you look at the today smartphone with the first one, it is totally different. And then you think it is oh, this is something new. It is not a new thing. Only thing is you don't see the journey. And that's why you think it is totally different from this first one. You remember the dial phone? It is not different from the wireless phone today we talk. But the thing is, why it is so different for us? Because we don't see the journey. So like that, whatever happening to you today, and you think, oh, this is new, this is very exciting. No, it already was in your life, but you didn't see how this is happening in you. Why? Because you are always caught up in the dreaming. But there is something, the present moment of experience is not related to that dream. So if you want to get out of that klesha upadi, or the bandhu upadi, or the kama upadi, and then you have to settle down with the present moment. And the fourth one is called abhisankara upadi. Abhisankara means that, as you know, 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. These all 5 things happens together, and happening together again and again, it go like a circle. So whatever the form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition happening in this very moment, push you forward to have another form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. Again and again, again and again, it pushes you. That's why when somebody sing a beautiful song, once the song over, what you hear from the audience? One more from behind. This is what called abhisankara upadi. Because you listen to the song, it's beautiful, good, you enjoy it. Why you cannot stop there? When you enjoy something, why? Because you enjoy it, accept it. Why then you again think, let's do it again, let's do it again? Why? Because the current push you. It's nothing wrong if it is possible. You hear the song, you enjoy it, that's it, done. For if you come to the mind, not to think about in your life to hear it anymore, because you enjoy it to the 100%, and you watch the movie, you done it. And you eat something, you done it. You saw something, you heard something, you smell something, you done it. If you come to that point, that is good. But the problem is we cannot, because something pushes us to do it again and again and again. This is the problem. So then when it comes to the world, nothing wrong, experience something. But once you experience it, if inside your current push you forward to do it again, that is a problem. You have to address to that. So then look at yourself and see, is there anything once you experience? Can you stop it? When you want, can you get out of anything? That is where you have to develop your, that is where you have to go. Not to escape from anything. Not to resist the world. Let the world to happen that way. Let even experience happen that way. But can you settle down with that experience and not to jump again and again and again? Not to go with the current again and again and again? If you can do that, that is the day you can experience your transformation, your liberation, your ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So it is possible when you are able to settle down with the moment of experience. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavat. Ettavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.